y'all. We are back with another Dunce update. Here we go. Arguably the fan favorite on the male side right now in the CrossFit space.
What you gonna say to my dude? Hey, you're the most popular dude in CrossFit. You know that? Tell us what we need to do to level up our game.
You don't have nearly enough wiener dogs.
We got.
I have 6 now. You don't want to know what happens when I get 7.
Okay, you gotta.
Well, ladies, I hate to break the news to you, but Colton Mertens is off the market. Colton Mertens was recently hogtied by, just kidding, was recently engaged to Sevan's foot. Kidding again. It's a good thing Colton has a really good sense of humor and his beautiful fiance, Ali Zerke. Congratulations. Colton, you did a great job. The ring is beautiful. Ali has been to the CrossFit Games twice on a team, and her and Colton will soon be competing together in a partner competition. They took to Instagram to poll the audience for team names. There were a couple of different options, but the winner ended up being Weenie Wranglers, which is what I voted for. Now, on my last video, I talked about the Around the Whiteboard episode with Matt O'Keefe, Dallin Pepper, Brian Spin. There's a lot of talk around the WFP, and then Pedro had posted a new reel. And Pedro's reels, if you haven't seen them, Drunk Pedro is probably the funniest skit in the CrossFit space right now. He drops little nuggets in there that you may or may not catch, and typically those things end up coming to fruition.
How are we going to fund that? The best. What? A man can get. Not so easy, is it? Okay, so just circle back to that, I suppose. Are you going to make the athletes pick between the World Fitness Project and the Games? No. Yeah, not yet. Maybe never. Maybe next year. We haven't talked about it, but we have.
For instance, in this reel, he points out that each tour event for the WFP this season will have a top prize of $30,000 to the male and female athletes. And he mentioned $70,000 for the World Fitness final event, which is rumored to be taking place sometime in December.
There's been a lot of leaks. Maybe we should just start announcing stuff quicker, like we should announce the prize purse and, you know, all that kind of stuff, that it's 30,000 for the event, 70,000 for the final, that you're paying out as far as 20th. Like, we should probably just announce all that stuff.
But then also Guido Trinidad entered the reel.
Fellas, room for another one? Get out of here, Guido. And f*** off, Guido. Party's full. Okay.
Suggesting that Guido Trinidad is putting together another fitness league in competition with WFP and the CrossFit Games. But with those prize purse, that doesn't even come close into comparison as to the prize money at the CrossFit Games. If you look at the top 10 money awarded to male and female athletes, it doesn't even come close. Rogue comes close, but Rogue still pays out less per placement. Wodapalooza, not even close. Dubai, not even close. World Fitness Project, not even close. Now, we don't know what they're paying each athlete. I would imagine that that varies per athlete. So, as of right now, I do not believe the CrossFit Games has anything to worry about. And typically that information isn't released until later in the season anyway. Last year, the prize purse for the CrossFit Games wasn't even announced until early May in a press release. CrossFit Games athlete Grace Walton was recently on the Sevan podcast for an interview. And man, if you have not watched this episode, you need to go watch it. She is a proven athlete. She still lives and trains in Australia with her boyfriend, fiance, Zane. She is one badass chick. Okay. Sevan did ask her some questions about the CrossFit Games. Grace took 5th in the first swim event, and here's what she had to say about that.
5th place in event 1, is that right? What place did you take? What did you think when you got out of the water? Did you think that that was a hard event? I mean, obviously it was hard. They're all hard. Did you have thoughts that it was unsafe?
Look, no, I didn't. Like, I'm a swimmer, and like, I thought that the conditions were. People were saying like the water was hot, like, but I thought the conditions were fine. Like, they did it early enough that it wasn't like hot. It wasn't like in the middle of the day.
Haven't been a lot of athletes openly talking about that event. I think worried about what people will say or think, but she was very open and honest about how that event went for her, and I really appreciated her perspective, but she paints a different picture. She also mentioned that she would swim solo to an island off the coast of Australia.
And like, swam to Roto. Like, I've swum to an island off Australia that's like 20 kilometers. I've done that 3 times solo. Like,
Wow.
That this is a normal thing people do there.
Oh,
yeah. I got like hypothermia one of the times I did it. It was terrible.
that means you got cold?
I got fucking, like, I couldn't, like, my kayaker had to piss in a bottle and pour it on me to, like, keep me warm. And I was like, keep this, like, you're so, it's the worst.
God,
Yeah.
Zane, she's a keeper. Holy shit.
Dude, what?
Holy shit.
She's got a great future ahead of her in the sport. She is one of my favorites to slide into the top 5 at the CrossFit Games. As you might know, Taylor Self and Colton Mertens were up for the Athlete Council. Taylor received word that he was chosen for that Athlete Council.
Listen, guys, as I'm sure you already knew, I won in a landslide. It wasn't even close. I won the Electoral College, the popular vote, the people have spoken, and we're going to make CrossFit great again.
Also this week on Kill Taylor, woo buddy, that workout looked rough. The prize purse was up to $2,500 this week. The workout was...
Bam, we're live. Bam, we're live.
First victim is gone. Taylor Self is here. The next victim is waiting in the wing.
Taylor was taken down this week. Your current reigning fittest man on earth called in to take his shot to kill Taylor. Of course, James was going to win. This was a great workout for him. The box step-ups, the legless rope climbs.
Put your balls down with something fresh.
It's a sauce they use for spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You asshole.
This is what it feels like. This.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank, Mr. Sprague?
Oh, man. This crew right here. Everyone in here. Just coming in early on a Saturday.
Hey,
And then he posted this to his story. I love it. I love seeing these guys having fun like this. Such a great show. So that prize purse will go back down to, I believe, $500 for the following Saturday. You'll be able to find that workout on the Real Sevan podcast Instagram channel just before the show starts. Mason Startup released a new video on his YouTube channel.
Did it again the next year in 2022. With Justin's impressive performances at a young age, everybody was strapping in for what felt like it was going to be another long dynasty. But fast forward 2 years and Justin hasn't cracked the top 5 at the CrossFit Games or Rogue Invitational since that 2022 season. From being the fittest man on earth and winning every competition he touched to hanging around in the middle of the pack at the CrossFit Games. What happened to Justin?
I was at West Coast Classic last year and Medeiros looked so solid. He looked like whatever he had dealt with the year before, not a problem anymore. He was going to make a run at it. And I still think he has that in him. I still think that if he comes back this year to compete and he's healthy, he's got a chance. Never count him out. So I came across this video on Instagram, and I don't know this account, but Mark Smellbell, I'll have to go check him out, but I just thought it was a random female in the video. Anyway, she posted this reel.
1,000 training clubs worldwide. They've built a massive community and following, and ex-CrossFit Games athletes like Tia Toomey are jumping ship and moving over to High Rock.
Tia jumping ship, ex-CrossFit Games athlete. She hasn't announced her retirement. She hasn't said she's not doing CrossFit anymore. She just did a High Rocks, as many other CrossFit athletes have done, because, like I've said, all the movements are CrossFit movements. Dave Castro is back to his old tricks, cryptic Instagram videos. He posted this the other day.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good work. Yeah.
Guessing they're testing workouts for maybe the open, maybe semifinals, maybe the games, who knows. But then this one I saw and thought was really interesting. We've never seen a 125-pound dumbbell used in a workout. Normally it's 100 pounds for the guys, 70 pounds for the ladies. So if y'all don't have a 125-pound dumbbell in your gym, you better get one. And then I would say, ladies, you better start using the Hundy. Wodapalooza announced their first workout. Interesting. I'm sure more of those workouts will be rolling out as we draw closer to that event at the end of the month. Barbell Spin posted this to his Instagram page. Max Elhaeg has left the chat. Now, Max Elhaeg used to sit on the advisory council of the PFAA, but now, according to the PFA website, he is no longer featured there. It is not known at this time who might take his place. Alexis Raptis posted this to her story. Andrew's definitely taken over the YouTube athlete space, spending time with a lot of these big name athletes. He recently traveled up to Canada and did a video with Erica Folo. That video on YouTube already has over 150,000 views. I'll be excited to see what he puts out from his time spent with Alexis Raptis. And then speaking of Erica Folo, she sat down Sunday morning with Sevan on the Real Sevan podcast. If you don't watch the interviews with Sevan, you're really missing out. She's such a natural when she's being interviewed. Talks about how she started up in CrossFit. She was a teenage athlete. She shared a coach with Emma Lawson and Jack Farlow. She also talks about Andrew Hiller and the time he spent there with her and how she really enjoyed that. And Sevan, of course, he's just so real and he asks great questions. So I'd recommend you go check that one out as well. Man, he's putting out some good ones recently. Gracie Walton, now Erica Folo. CrossFit Games announced the Syndicate Crown and the TFX Invitational in Oklahoma City. Those two events will be restricted to the same regions as last year for semifinals, North America West and North America East regions. So no change there. I saw some people in some of the comments just up in arms about it. Why can't people come to that one and compete? They don't want people coming from here and taking American spots, blah. The more I think about it, the more I really like the way the season is set up. Because if you look at the online qualifier is going to take the top 14 male and female. Those are going to be some of the bigger names who usually take a spot at an in-person semifinal event. That just means that those people aren't going to be at those events, and you're going to have these other up-and-coming athletes now be able to be featured and have spotlights and be talked about, giving them more attention. I think this is a great thing. Now, granted, most of the events are only taking the top 2 male and female from each event, but still, you're going to have athletes in that final top 10 heat that we may not have been able to see highlighted before. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. Taylor Self and J.R. Howell sat down on Shut Up and Scribble the other day. It was a quick episode, and they just went through the men and talked about who they thought was going to qualify through the online semifinal first, and then who they thought would win each of the in-person semifinals.
Like, this is a good conversation to have, but what's also going to be interesting to me is how Mayhem does their qualification process. It's a month before online semis, and who goes to it?
You can check out that full episode of Shut Up and Scribble on the Real Sevan podcast. They did say that they will be doing the ladies. We'll be on the lookout for that as well. As we know, there are a few athletes also injured right now. Henrik Haapalainen with his Achilles, Gabby Magala, Achilles injury, both at Rogue Invitational. So those are a couple of spots opened up for other athletes, as well as there have been a few athletes that have been very vocal about not competing in the game season. So Emma McQuaid, Emma Tall, Chandler Smith, maybe Pat Vellner, we still don't know. But that opens the door for a couple of more spots and other newer athletes to have a chance at it. The only thing we don't really know is Mayhem Classic, how that is going to go down. I'm not really sure what their requirements are going to be yet, but really looking forward to that. That's one I really, really, really want to go to. I'm putting that one high up on my priority list. And of course, I will be at TFX Invitational in Oklahoma City. We have an athlete at our gym, Casey Strong, who I know is going to make that semifinal. Barbell Spin, keeping a running list of all the athletes that have been signed to the World Fitness Project. I've kept a little list myself. So as of Sunday, January 5th, we've got 15 men signed to the World Fitness Project and 13 females. Newest signed were James Sprague, Gima Harris, Jay Crouch, Maddie Sturt, Emily Rolfe, and Ariel Lowen, as well as Ariel Lowen's hair clip. So that's 15 men signed so far. However, we do know that Luka Dukic is also one of those. It hasn't been announced yet, but we do know from the interview with Coffee Pods and Wads and Will Morad that he is a signed athlete. They mentioned that. That only leaves 4 more spots on the men's side, but we still have 7 more spots on the female side that need to be filled. When you look at this list too, there are a lot of tier athletes. I didn't realize how many athletes were signed to tier. Patrick Vellner, Travis Mayer, Roman Krennikov, Dallin Pepper, Jason Hopper, BKG, Saxon Panchek, Ricky Garrard, Guimau Harris, Alex Gazan, Alexis Raptis. And when you go to the tier website, it's actually interesting that Will Morad is an athlete of theirs. So Barbell Spin also has a full calendar of events on his website that you can find. NorCal Classic Online Qualifier starts this week. You can find all the information on their Instagram page. The week after that, we have the Wildland Fest Online Qualifier starting up. Following weekend is Wadapalooza, 23rd through the 26th. And then you have the TFX Championship in Austin the last weekend of January starting into February. I'm not going to roast anybody today. I'm just going to say every time I get on to Instagram or YouTube, there are people commenting shit. Do you look things up before you comment? Somebody commented the payouts of Rogue were more than the payouts at the CrossFit Games. And if you just do a quick Google search, bro, you can find here's Rogue, here's the CrossFit Games. Not even close. People just make this shit up in their head. I don't understand. There was even one comment on Pedro's around the whiteboard where the chick said elite coach, elite athlete, low-level fitness dude. And Pedro asks, who's the elite coach? And I commented, I think she means Matt O'Keefe. Girl, you don't even know. Matt O'Keefe is not a coach. He's an agent, and he's the CEO of HWPO.
I'm so happy you stayed with Bob Sugar, because I am the fucking Terminator.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you list some of Matt O'Keefe's athletes that he coaches? Because I don't know any. That is all for this dense update. Be sure to leave us a comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're into this sort of thing, you can head over to my Instagram page where you can follow me there for all the latest happenings in the CrossFit community.